Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, your host for this show. But the breaking news is we already have India squad for the upcoming T20 World Cup. Less than 50 days away this World Cup, and we have the squad. It is Surya Kumar Yadav leading the charge as the captain, Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Tilak Verma, Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dube, Akshar Patel, the vice captain, Rinku Singh, the finisher, Jasprit Bumrah leading the pace attack, Harshit Rana, Arshdeep Singh, Kuldeep Yadav, Varun Chakravarti, Washington Sundar, and finally Ishan Kishan makes a comeback in the Indian jersey as the wicket keeper. Now, Boria, starting with you, obviously the biggest talking point is going to be Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill got more than enough chances, unable to cement his place as the opener alongside Abhishek Sharma, was slotted in as the vice captain, but ahead of the most important campaign at home, he does not find a place in the squad. Your thoughts?
Absolutely, and it is purely based on performance. That's what sport is all about. It is about performance. Shubman Gill got his opportunities, and for all who said that Gautam Gambhir and Ajit Agarkar are about PR, I think they have answered that question well and truly, that they have picked a squad purely on merit. If you check the Asia Cup, check the Australia series, check this particular series against South Africa, Shubman Gill has not done justice to the chances that he was given. They were right in giving him the chances. He has the potential. He has the ability. Sadly for him, and unfortunately for him, he has not done justice. Ultimately, sport will always be about performance. My point is, if you look at social media, if you see Shubman Gill performance, absolutely fair call. But look at the euphoria around it, and that's the toxicity that we've been talking about. So while Shubman Gill, Gautam Gambhir, Ajit Agarkar, the entire selection committee has taken a very fair call in leaving out because of performance, but I will apply the same index for Surya Kumar Yadav as well. If Shubman Gill has been left out because of performance, questions need to be asked about Surya's form. I understand the point that 2 months before a World Cup, you cannot change the captain, and that means that against New Zealand, the man who will be under the most amount of pressure will be Surya Kumar Yadav. Because if you apply the same indices, lack of form, lack of runs, lack of performance, then it's Surya Kumar Yadav and Shubman Gill in the same boat. You've left Gill out, totally point taken. What I dislike about social media is the toxicity, but you've kept Surya Kumar Yadav as the leader. So clearly against New Zealand, he will have to score, otherwise pressure will mount.
Pressure will definitely mount, Bharat. And coming back to the Shubman Gill point, Bharat, Surya Kumar Yadav in the press conference there were two questions that were directly about Shubman Gill, and what Surya Kumar Yadav said was, and I quote, "It's not about form, it's about combination. We wanted to have a keeper at the top, and we know of the quality that Shubman Gill brings in the team." But your thoughts at this point? Shubman Gill, we were talking about this in the show that we did at 12 o'clock, and it was pretty much, we all were in consensus that Shubman Gill has been unconvincing.
See, they wouldn't want to use the word dropped when it comes to Shubman Gill. That is why they said like that. See, I will leave it there when it comes to the press conference. As far as Shubman Gill is concerned, maybe the Indian setup rushed him a bit into the T20I setup, because at that time when Shubman Gill came back into the T20I setup, Sanju Samson, you like it or not, was scoring a lot of runs. He had scored 3 T20I turns. Yes, I understand the point that Sanju Samson struggled against a couple of tall England pace bowlers, but a lot of batters also will struggle against short pitch stuff. So I think that was a small mistake that they did. Having said that, once Shubman Gill got back into the T20I setup, he was rightly given the chances, because you would want to give a long run to any player. And I will just add one point here when it comes to Shubman Gill. The way modern day T20 cricket is moving forward, it's more and more about power hitting, especially in the power play overs. That's what you are basically seeing. We saw that recently in the Big Bash League final, when one team scored 256 and the second team scored 257 for 2, and they were at 1 point 212 for 0. So basically they just stand in the crease, stand deep in the crease, try to hit it over deep mid wicket, try to hit it over covers or extra cover without really coming down the track. That is how the game is moving forward. So maybe from Shubman Gill's point of view, this is just a constructive point that in the coming months, he might have to look at just branching out his game. Obviously, he can still concentrate only on Test cricket and not think much about T20 cricket. In the end, it was a fair call from the selectors.
Bore, I want to ask you two questions back to back on the matter of Gill. First of all, from that quote that I just read out of Surya Kumar Yadav, where he explained that they wanted a wicketkeeper up at top, they wanted a reserve opener who was also a wicketkeeper. That also explains why Ishan Kishan was able to find a place in the team, why Jitesh Sharma was dropped, and of course when you think of Jitesh Sharma being dropped, you realize that Rinku Singh is covering the base when it comes to finishing. So it explains the combination of all of it. First thoughts on that, and then I will ask you a follow-up question.
You're right. You're right. I mean, otherwise, if you see Jitesh Sharma in the limited opportunities that he's got, he's done nothing wrong. In Australia, he did nothing wrong. He's played a couple of good innings. Even against South Africa, Jitesh Sharma did play a couple of good innings, even in the game that India lost. He did come and hit a few boundaries and sixes. But because they've got Ishan Kishan as the opening option at the top, and they wanted an opening option at the top like Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan, that's why they've kind of left out Jitesh Sharma and I've got Rinku Singh in. Now, here's the question. This is a kind of an afterthought because look, once the Shubman Gill experiment did not work, only then did you realize that we need a wicketkeeper option at the top, and they've got Samson back, and that's why Ishan Kishan makes it back into the team. They did give Gill an opportunity. They gave Gill an opportunity in September, gave him an opportunity in October, gave him an opportunity in November. Unfortunately, as Bharat said, Gill did not make the most of that opportunity, and because of the template, because of the current T20 template that you have to go from ball one, Gill tried that. That Asia Cup innings against Pakistan, that 105-run partnership between Gill and Abhishek was his best opportunity, 47. But other than that, his game, he's not been able to do what an Abhishek Sharma's done, say 180 strike rate. Can Samson do that? Yesterday we saw glimpses of it. We did see glimpses of Samson being able to do that. Can Ishan Kishan do that? Ishan Kishan has done that in the past and has also done that in domestic cricket. So Shubman Gill, to be fair, very fair to the selectors, I honestly believe this answers the question on PR, that this has been a team that has been picked on merit. Shubman Gill got his opportunities, was not able to convert. Shomik Chakraborty joins us with more details, Gargi. But my point here is very clear. I think this is a good team with a caveat. Shubman Gill left out has clearly opened doors to ask the question about Surya Kumar Yadav. Surya Kumar Yadav as the captain has to perform. Unless he performs against New Zealand, now the murmurs will get louder, because if you apply the same index that you've applied for Gill, then Surya Kumar Yadav's position can also be questioned. So in sport, it is about performance. So one can hope as an Indian fan, analyst, that Surya Kumar Yadav performs against New Zealand. And if that happens, this is a gun team.
I'll go to Shomik in a minute. He's our man on ground. He's been at the press conference and asking questions as well. But Boria, the follow-up question that I was going to ask you was, when we look at this team combination, clearly it has all been about merit. Everyone in the squad is deserving of their place in the squad, but at the same time, the kind of celebrations that we're seeing on social media and the toxicity that we're seeing on social media regarding a player not making it to the World Cup squad is unreal. Your thoughts on that?
Absolutely 100% right. I mean, if a player has not made it purely basis form, which is the case here, that's a fair call. But why are you celebrating? There are people writing happiest day in my life, justice has been delivered, etc., etc. I mean, come on, boss. Come on. Till yesterday, you were saying Gautam Gambhir's PR, Ajit Agarkar's PR. Somebody has even written here, Rev Sports is shocked. For God's sake. For God's sake. I love such comments. I mean, somebody has written, is Shomik okay? I mean, come on, Shomik, no Sarvanash. I mean, this is kiddish. This is absolutely kiddish as far as I am concerned. But yes, on a serious note, there are far too many unemployed idiots in this country who act or masquerade as cricket fans. They have a new profession called trolling, and they are happily doing it. That's all, Gargi. A player has been dropped for performance. Take that, move on. To celebrate that, make it a euphoric whatever. I mean, no player, no player, if he doesn't perform, needs to be in the side. Number one. Having said that, to wish or hope that a player doesn't perform so that he gets dropped, if anyone says that, and a large number of people are saying that, they are not cricket fans. Bharat Ramraj made this point yesterday, and he's right. Shubman Gill is opposed by, he said 6, I will say 7 section of fans. Rohit Sharma fans, Virat Kohli fans, Shreyash Iyer fans, Ruturaj Gaikwad fans, Rishabh Pant fans, obviously all of these kind of little fandoms, they oppose Shubman Gill. And because of all of this kind of large number of trolls that are out there, you will see the toxicity on Shubman Gill. He's the most hated player at the moment. I don't think he deserves hate. He's left out. But why is there hate? That is the rotten underbelly of Indian cricket.
100%. Shomik also joins us here from Mumbai. He's outside of the Wankhede Stadium. Shomik, your question was I think the second question of the press conference. Tell us what you asked, tell our viewers, and about Ajit Agarkar's answer, and how convinced are you of his answer as well?
I'm going to that, Gargi, but before that, just a bit of extension of that PR, Rep Sports doing PR. On 13th of December, this Rep Sports broke the story. Shubman Gill, and I just shared the link also. Shubman Gill skates on thin T20 ice. We are the first to break that. That Shubman Gill skates on, and he had 3 more T20 ice left to save to save himself in terms of his play position in the squad. So we did that, and we got, our sources are good. Number one. Number two, coming to your question, Gargi, about asking Ajay Agarkar, plainly asked, and as reporters, it's our job to ask questions, whether Shubman Gill has been dropped on form. Ajit Agarkar says, you can have different interpretations. Your interpretation could be different from mine. Our interpretation could be different from yours. The thing is that we wanted a wicket keeper at the top. The team management wanted a wicket keeper at the top, and that is why it is purely basis and combination. Surya also detoured that it is purely basis and combination. But we all know. But eventually, at the end of the day, the selection committee, I will give them credit for correcting the wrong. Before this Asia Cup, Shubman was brought back to the T20I setup, and they upset a settled opening partnership. Sanju Samson lost his place as an opener, and eventually lost his place in the playing 11. And then what happened to balance it out, they also tweaked the middle order, dropping Rinku Singh and bringing on Jitesh. So it upset the entire equilibrium. Now they have whatever it is. We all know between the lines, if Shubman Gill would have scored 300s or a couple of hundreds, the selection committee wouldn't have dropped him. As because he couldn't score runs, he has been dropped. He has been dropped on form. No two ways about it. So simple. But the thing is that there was an acceptance. That we have made a error of judgment, and they have tried to correct. And very, very happy for Ishan Kishan, because after that knock in the Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy final, that the selectors have valued. They are valuing performances in domestic cricket. Just a year and a half ago, Ishan was the persona non grata in Indian cricket. He was made the persona non grata. Now he has been brought back to the fold, which also means that BCCI doesn't bear a grudge.
Absolutely. So I think we're all very happy about Ishan Kishan making a comeback, because he's been brilliant throughout the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy as well, has been among runs and has been displaying a lot of potential, and has rightly found a place in the squad. Bharat, coming to you next, another point that I want to talk about here from the press conference is the fact that both Ajit Agarkar and Surya Kumar Yadav has stressed on the on the fact of flexibility. They have said that this is a team where we want flexibility. You see that in the amount of all-rounders that you have. You see that in the fact that no matter what combination India goes in with, they will always have that batting depth that the Indian management wants.
See, obviously, in modern day T20 cricket, you would want to have flexibility. That is how it goes. It just comes down to whether that particular player, sorry, whether that particular player can come in and perform that role. For example, as I mentioned a couple of hours ago about Washington Sundar coming in at number 7 or 8, if he has to come in at number 7 or 8 in one of the matches in the World Cup, then I'm not very sure that he can perform that role, because until now, barring that one innings against Sean about, I've not seen that in T20 cricket or limited overs cricket. But I can understand from how the coaches are thinking or their school of thought in modern day T20 cricket, because you have to perform different roles. It could be, for example, Tilak Varma. At times, you could have to anchor the innings. Maybe at some point, India in a crucial game would be 40 for 2, and Tilak Varma has to come in and anchor the innings a little bit, and then take on the role of hitting those sixes and fours. So yes, everyone has to play in different ways when the situation demands. But at the top of the order, when it comes to T20 cricket, it is about giving that impetus or playing impactful knocks where you get maybe even in the power play where you get some 70 or 80 runs in 6 overs. So I think that is one role which is defined. Otherwise, it's more about being very flexible in terms of how you bat in the middle order or for the matter at 7 or 8.
Buria, there's a super chat here. We'll take that. Parsuram Satakarni is asking, I understand, Boria, the point about using the same scale for Surya as well as Gill, but I would disagree a little bit about Surya's performance as a captain also has to be considered, and it was really good.
That's the only explanation. But ultimately, in modern day cricket, you cannot just have a place in the side basis captaincy. That's no longer the case. Doesn't happen. So that's the only explanation. And yes, Surya Kumar Yadav has been retained as captain, but he too will be under the scanner against New Zealand. Surya Kumar Yadav, or for that matter anyone, will have to score runs. So I understand where he's saying this. And that's exactly why Surya Kumar Yadav has been retained. Because he's captain, under him India has consistently won. Be it in South Africa, be it against New Zealand, against England, against South Africa here, in Australia, Asia Cup, all of the competitions India has won. So that is the whole point, that Surya Kumar Yadav has been retained, but he too has to score. And that's why the focus will now be on Surya Kumar Yadav. There are a lot of people here who are saying about Shomik and me and you and Bharat or whoever, Rev Sports being disappointed over Shubman Gill. The point is very clear as far as we are concerned. We are very happy. We are very happy if some of these trolls at least come and join the show and engage with us. This is exactly what our point was. Look at the euphoria. Look at the euphoria and you will understand where the toxicity lies. Is there a realistic assessment there? Me being owned by Riddhiman Saha, who is a liar. Rev Sports having zero revenue. Imagine this. Rev Sports a failed channel. You guys are coming and watching the same channel and wasting your own time. How big a fool you are. So, there are many questions that one can counter ask. But that's trolling. I've encountered this for 2 years. I know how these things operate on social media. So it's totally fine. Where I'm worried is Shubman Gill being left out of the team has created this entire toxic mass base on social media. Imagine from the perspective of a player's mental health. It's fine. He's been dropped. Performance not there. Drop. Closed. Surya Kumar Yadav doesn't perform. Will also have to face consequences. At this time, he's there because of the captaincy. But to celebrate like this, somebody will say, "Arey, we are celebrating because justice has been done for others." Say it's a good call from the selectors. Happiest day in our lives. So and so. Come on. We all know what this is all about. And as far as Rev Sports is concerned, not having money, etc., the company is valued at 100 crores. So that's the deal, Gargi. So let's enjoy this trolling, because that's the reality of Indian cricket.
What do you have to say about this?
Yeah,
you were the guy
this Jitesh dropped is is Jitesh will feel hard done. There's a question on Jitesh drop. What was the question you put out on screen? Let's take that.
Anant is saying, look, man, you were the guys that were hyping up failed Gill. No one here was hyping up Gill. So how is it wrong to blame you guys?
So
we are not the ones.
Blame. One second. Your interpretation of us hyping. So blame. Do you think we will take you seriously? We played your comment. So we have the, for the lack of a better word, we have the courage and the guts to play your comment also. So blame. Big deal. Now that we have played your comment, we will flush you out like toilet paper. We are entitled. Finished.
All right, getting back to the combination. Shubman, I was about to call you.
Allow me to take this.
Okay.
Somebody writes, who blackmailed Riddhiman Saha for interview got banned by the BCCI, now telling to valid criticism Gills. Riddhiman Saha is a qualified liar. He should do a PhD on that. His lies have been exposed formally in my book. And everybody knows that. He's a qualified liar. If he had the courage, he would come to me and face me. He doesn't. He's run away. So let us not bring Riddhiman Saha into this equation. Now coming to toxicity. That's exactly what I faced. That's exactly what my family faced. And that's why I'm giving you this whole spiel on toxicity. I didn't deserve it. I exactly did not. My wife did not. My mother did not. My dead father did not. I did not deserve the toxicity. I got it. I've been hardened by it. So I know how it feels. I know how to deal with it also. So to answer your question, Riddhiman Saha is a liar. Riddhiman Saha does not speak the truth. And secondly, what happened with me and my family was unfair. That's where I have learned my lesson. So exactly the reason I will keep writing about toxicity and the underbelly of social media. It is on you to not read it. You are reading it, you are engaging with me. Simple as that.
Okay. Wow. Someone saying refund Gill PR money. Lovely. Anyway.
Crores. Let ED come and investigate and figure out. Bharat Ramraj, you will get your salary for 5 years now based on the PR money that Shobik has been paid.
But Shomik, I really wanted to ask you, let's get back to the topic of discussing this squad, because it is a good squad overall. The only concern here is, of course, Surya Kumar Yadav will have to come back among runs. But the other point that I want to stress on here is the fact that both Ajit Agarkar and Surya Kumar Yadav spoke about the fact that when they were asked about the playing 11, it was clear when Surya Kumar Yadav said that they don't have one solid playing 11 settled, but they are happy with what they have, and they already have 2 to 3 combinations ready, and that tells you about the depth of the squad.
100%, Gargi. I mean, not for nothing, India have been unbeaten in 14 straight T20I series. It is about the depth. But I gave you a little bit of mood at the press conference, which our viewers don't know. To start with, Mr. Devjit Saikia, the BCCI secretary, he read out the squad. The first name he said Surya Kumar Yadav, captain, and the second name Abhishek Sharma. And we started staring at each other. What's happening? Because we had an inkling. We before this show, around 1 o'clock, I put out a video, and wherein I mentioned there is an outside chance, a slim chance that Akshay Patel could be the vice captain. So we started staring at each other with a Shubman, because if Shubman were the vice captain, his name would have come second. Now, as he rolled along, Akshay's name came and he said he's a vice captain. And that was the confirmation that Shubman Gill has been dropped. So that was the mood of the press conference. About Surya's form that you asked me, Surya was asked multiple times about during the press conference about his form. Surya, being Surya, is a very happy-go-lucky guy, and I like the honesty in that person. He said, I know I'm not scoring runs, and this form, this bat patch has become a little elongated. But I know where I am going wrong. I am batting really well at the nets, but once again, yes, I have to score runs out there in the middle. So I know, and maybe I'm confident. I am going that sooner rather than later. See, another reason why Shubman was dropped, because the selectors and the team management refused to run the risk of two out of form batsmen, having two out of form batsmen at the World Cup. So Surya, you don't know if he would, he will regain his mojo. And Shubman Gill, if he, the way he has been going through his form slump, everything, so it would have been a tad too risky to have two out of form. Now it is confirmed that Surya, until the World Cup, Surya will be there. He is the captain. And one between the lines, I want to share this with our viewers, that going ahead, although Surya said we have 2-3 combinations ready in terms of playing 11, and he is absolutely right. But in terms of batting order, Gautam Gambhir earlier said only two positions are fixed, the two openers. Uh, Apart from that, there is no fixed batting lineup in T20 cricket. But a message has been given to the team management that be focus on stability. Like that is why you saw Tilak Verma batted at number 3 in 2 consecutive games. Surya at number 4. Going ahead, this is going to be at the World Cup, this is going to be India's batting order.
Gargi, with your thing, I'll answer in fact, we've been talking, you asked Shomik, why would Ajit Agarkar say what he did? I actually think we've got the answer to that. And the answer is this. Shomik asked a question about Shubman Gill's form. Now, if Ajit Agarkar agreed with Shomik that it's about form, then the very next logical question is about Surya Kumar Yadav's form. That, okay, if you are saying Shubman Gill has been dropped because of form, Gargi, make it full screen, it will be easier. So my point is, think about this. If Shomik has said Shubman Gill dropped on form, Ajit Agarkar says, yes, Shubman Gill has been dropped on form. Second question, straight up, then why are you not dropping Surya Kumar Yadav? Because he's captain. Now, what did they say? They said he has not been dropped on form. He has been dropped because of combination. The moment you say he has been dropped because of combination, the question on Surya Kumar Yadav does not arise. So you've not said form. You've said combination. So you've skirted that question. You have beautifully skirted that question. No one can go and say, okay, you've dropped Shubman Gill. Why don't you drop Surya Kumar Yadav? You can't. Because the moment you say that, they'll say, but Shubman Gill has not been dropped on form. He has been dropped because we wanted a particular combination at the top. I thought it was well thought out, and they have played it quite beautifully in answering Shomik's question. That's why Ajit Agarkar said your interpretation and mine is different, because Shubman Gill has been dropped basis combination at the top.
Okay, let me see if there are any other super chats, and we will do last round of questions. Okay, this one will take. Okay, before I go to Shomik, I'll ask a question to Bharat here. 2 wicket keepers at the top is what Surya Kumar Yadav said that they wanted. That's why you're seeing a Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan come back in. What do you think of that decision? Because I think it's pretty smart from the management that with the available talent, you got to have
No, Gargi, I'm just interrupting. Agarkar didn't say that we wanted 2 wicket keepers at the top. He said we wanted a wicket keeper at the top and a backup wicket keeper. And a backup wicket keeper, that's why Ishan Kishan. So Ishan Kishan will be the backup. And Sanju Samson and Abhishek Sharma, they are combined, over from 2024 to 25, they have scored at 9.84 runs per over. This combination. As opening combination, they have scored at 9.84 runs per over. And you also saw how India could go double barrel right from the outset in the final T20I against South Africa at Ahmedabad yesterday. It was not a case of one player is taking the onus and another player is playing second fiddle. Modern day T20 cricket doesn't happen like that. You have to go double barrel. So from that point of view, you can continue, Gargi, just wanted to clarify that Ajit Agarkar said we wanted our wicketkeeper at the top and a backup wicketkeeper.
Yes, that's exactly where I was headed when I was saying that that you found like to like replacements, like if Sanju Samson is not able to for any reason be in
Darling,
the
again,
playing
somebody
11?
is saying, I am saying Gill not dropped on form. I am not saying. Our
Are
reporter
Baba.
asked, Ajit and the BCCI said Gill has been dropped basis combination. I am not saying, nor is Shomik. Shomik actually asked that question, has he been dropped on form? The answer was, he has been dropped because of combination, and Shomik and Ajit's interpretation was different. So Shomik Chakraborty asked that direct question of Ajit Agarkar. So get it right.
I think there's a lot of blind hate flying around at this moment. But final couple of questions. Bharat, you can take this before I go to Boria for the last comment. Shobha, sorry, my bad. I don't know what that says. Ishan hasn't played from 2023, but Pant played 2024 World Cup in the top three, and Jitesh also dropped. Is it playing to the social media pressure that Ishan is in? I don't think this has anything to do with social media pressure, but Bharat, please take it away.
Okay, see, I will put it in this way. Ishan Kishan, somewhere in the recent past, has shown better form in this particular format. If you go back to the time when Pant played for LSG, he struggled for a while. Yes, in the final game, he was in really good game. He was in really good form in that particular IPL 2025 IPL when he got 100 or on those lines. But until then, he kind of struggled. So I think they just looked at the present form and selected Ishan Kishan. Unfortunate for Jitesh Sharma. If you can go back to the Asia Cup, I wrote a couple of copies where I said I think Jitesh Sharma is in the form of his life. He's a very good player of spin. I genuinely believe he can provide the finishing touches. But just that Indian selectors wanted a reserve opener and a wicketkeeper. And when you think about those two roles, then they definitely thought about Ishan Kishan because he's in better form and he was selected. And there are players down the order maybe who can provide the finishing touches. So that is why I think Jitesh Sharma got left out. Unfortunate, as I definitely believe is in the form of his life. I don't think he will bat better or keep better than what he's doing at present.
Boria, finally, there's one super chat here by the Cricket Universe TV. He's asking, this was meant for Shomik, but you can take it and we can close the show. Will Gill also lose his place in ODIs?
If he doesn't perform, yes. If he has to perform, he will not. Ultimately, it will boil down to runs. You cannot have the same argument that, we want an explosive opener at the top. So for combination, we want a wicketkeeper. That doesn't apply here. That argument that Ajit Agarkar gave at the press conference doesn't apply to ODIs. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have both delivered in ODIs. So you have 1 and 3 sorted. So if you want to there is a Yashasvi Jaiswal waiting, and he's got 100 in that final game. So Shubman Gill will be under pressure in the ODIs as well, because Yashasvi Jaiswal did get 100 in that final game. But Shubman Gill's game is suited for ODI cricket. It's not the same template. You don't have to go hammer and tongs in ODI cricket from ball 1. So Shubman Gill, much like Yashasvi Jaiswal's 100, if you see even that innings, he was slow to start with and then picked up pace after scoring 50. So Shubman Gill is very used to that. There is no reason to think that at this point in time, he will lose his place, because when he went out with an injury, Yashasvi was brought in as backup. But if he doesn't score against New Zealand in the ODIs, once again, a clamor will start, because questions will be asked, and rightfully so. So ODIs at this point in time, I don't think this is a fair question to ask. The answer will be no. But if it doesn't perform in ODI cricket for at least a couple of months more, some matches more, then obviously questions will be asked, and eventually it will be performance that will decide his future.
Can I just add a small point to it? See, Shubman Gill, if you look at his record, he averages something like 57 in ODI cricket and has a strike rate of 99. So it's a little bit difficult to difficult to drop him from that format. What I can definitely tell is, if India keep losing a few more ODI games, then his captaincy could come under a little more of scrutiny. I think as a ODI cricketer is really good because he understands the template and he plays according to it.
Yeah, but again, Bharati, India has won the series against South Africa. India has won the series against South Africa. India has had a pretty decent run in ODI cricket, except that series loss against Australia 1-2. If you see most of the other series, India has won. So the record is pretty strong there. So if India wins against New Zealand, I don't see the captaincy being questioned because the captaincy has just been given to him in October. So you have to give somebody a fair run. A vice captain is dispensable, not the captain. A captain cannot be dispensed with that easily. A vice captain is a foolish position. Vice captaincy has no meaning. On what is the role of the vice captain in a T20 format on home soil? Zero. Nothing. Akshar Patel deserves it, but vice captaincy is a dispensable position, not captain. So I don't think Shubman Gill's captaincy is under any kind of scanner in the 50-over format. If he doesn't perform for a pretty long time, at least a couple of series, then absolutely questions will be asked. But I totally agree with Bharat that Shubman Gill is a far well-suited player for 50-over cricket than for T20 cricket.
Right, then that brings us to the end.
Gargi, just one more news point from the press conference. The selectors haven't picked any standbys. And Mr. Devajit Saikia answered to this question. He said, as because the World Cup will be played in our country, in India, I mean, we don't need standbys. If need be, every player would be ready. As because the last World Cup was in the USA, so it was far off, and that's why we had picked standbys. So that is the difference.
I mean, you don't need a traveling reserve for a home T20 World Cup. So
Exactly.
that's the logic behind it. But that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much, Bharat, Boria, and Shomik for joining. And to everyone who's watching, Boria will be back at 5 for the 5 at 5 show. He will be dissecting the combination and the 15 that were picked. And at the end of the day at 7 p.m., Shomik will also be there at the Wankhede Stadium and will try to understand how each and every player in the squad found their place in the World Cup squad. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll be back very soon.